I pink warded just to know, because here I pink warded because when I recall, I didn't want to be spotted by a ward and then they just canceled me. I just wanted to know if they knew I was there recalling. I didn't want to get cancelled. It would destroy my tempo basically. Now Wave is slow pushing to me, so I think to myself, Vayne is really weak right now. We just killed her twice. She has no summoners, and I'm Lucian Nami. So now, since our champions are absolutely broken, if the wave will be around here, and I'll just perma freeze it. And if she walks up, I kill her. So slow pushes. It's gonna be around here. Get a Q on the thresh. I trimmed the wave a bit because there's too many minions. No, I don't care because this is too deep for them. I don't care about being hooked. That's why I don't dash it. If they go on me, I win the trade. And I just chunk the thresh for all this health in Vayne. Great. I didn't want to all in there because of the minions, but I wanted to be around here deeper so I don't get all the aggro plus their damage. I would be worried more about that, but if I'm not tanking all the minions and end them, I'm not really worried. There were many minions. I really wanted to make sure to not miss that because I really wanted that freeze and to deny as much for the Vayne. Now she's basically Doomsday Scenario because she dies in one combo. I'm pretty sure she cancels here. Oh no, she doesn't. Well, I'm gonna freeze. It's gonna be freezing simulator, so we can fast forward 4 times. Freezing. Freezing. Oh. Now she's trying to walk up to reset the wave. I walk up. I think my support aggroed a bit, and it's gonna shit on my freeze or we move. Basically, here, bad roam by Thresh, but doesn't matter. You can't affect the lane state. If they walk up, they die. Vayne is so tilted. I didn't see that. Oh yeah, they wanted to start Dragon. I remember. I called. Oh, they're probably doing Dragon because they can't really do anything about the lane, so they'll probably try and get some cheesy dragons and win from the other side with some random dragons and then rotate for the 3rd and 4th. So I remember telling my duo, hey, they might be on Dragon. And yeah, he moves up and we see them and then Olaf just bats and killed them. While my lane is still a good state. Vayne is stuck at 21 CS. Let's move forward. That is a Diamond 2 player or Diamond 1?
Ah, il était chiant de montrer ça, dire qu'il y a de la merde.
What's qu'il y a de la merde?
Ouais.
Oh, she walked up once and she's basically dead. This is unplayable for her. My Q does half his health. Great. Now, well, we destroyed the freeze with them, so we're looking for a slow push into a dive. My Olaf is moving bot side. Again. Or if she recalls, I can deny all those minions and get a plate. Oh, she recalled. I get a plate, I can kill the Thresh because he walks up. Didn't get the kill, actually. I get their Scion too. I mean, we're getting ganked by Kayn, Scion. They try to fix the lane something. I don't know what they're trying to do. They're trying to fix the lane state for Vayne. Right now, I know, since I have exhaust, that she can kill me. I know I just one-tap her. That's why I'm still playing that aggro, and I'm telling my support to not heal me. And it's saying, keep your mana for ult and E, and we try to bait her in. I keep the freeze. She's stuck with no CS. If they walk up, they die again. Now, did she die? No, she's pretty much dead. I used one ability. Now I hit the wave with my R a bit, so it's gonna slow push again. And then, again, I can look for a dive with all the minions. I want to deny all of them. I'm always playing really aggressively to deny as much minions, and when I see my jungler, I try to play around them. He plays well around bot lane, though. And Kayn tries to save the lane, but he really can't do anything. We got him really ahead with the first few minutes, and by having perma prio and yeah, just being stronger in general. Now Vayne is at 29 CS. I'm at 94. Because of all the freezing and all the slow push into dives.
You sped through the dive. Can you like show the dive again? When you set it up? Because you were going like fast and then when you stopped it already happened.
Yeah. Okay, so right now I'm positioning aggressively. Olaf is gonna walk up. I'm still walking. Right now I can kill her. With Nami Electrocute and Bubble, she dies if she gets in range. I'm just worried about being hooked by Thresh or being pilled out and CC'd while I hit her. That's the only thing I'm thinking about right now. That's why I dashed out. I didn't want to be hooked and then stunned and then, yeah, because they can kill me then. Now, when we see the Olaf, that's when we engage. They run out of the turret, because even if they go under turret, Olaf is going to one-tap them. He doesn't take damage to the turret with Probbies. He has Gore Drinker, he's Olaf. But yeah, he's just going to kill them. So, yeah. It's just an easy dive. He just can't do much. With Olaf, he's too tanky. I just get many plates too. I think I get tier 2 before 14 minutes, so yeah, pretty sad for them. Now I think I have a full item. Yep, she has 2 components. So now she's pretty much desperate to try and unfreeze the wave. My support flank. We can kill her again. I think I actually misplay. Yeah. What hard she's Lord. Yeah, she literally, you can't play. You just can't play against this combo. It's unplayable. Just take too much damage. I am not a Lucian player. This guy is not a Nami player. We just tried it. And yeah, it's just crazy OP. I think we kill Kayn here.
And you do run Electrocute on Lucian with this?
Yeah, I wanted to try it. I wanted to try it because Vayne, if I can get really cheeky, basically Electrocute early game does more damage. Plus, if you don't count the 12% amp after, right? But you can't proc. Basically, the way I can proc Electrocute is dash auto Q, and I can just keep doing those trades with my Electrocute and my Nami Electrocute with her bubbles. I can trade around that instead of trading around double it auto Q. It's just faster and it's just faster burst. It's basically I'm poking with it.
Oh, okay.
And I wasn't really worried about the Scion because I went to cut down this game just to, in case Scion gets out of control and he's tanky. That's the only reason I went the room. And I thought maybe he goes Red Kayn and I get value out of it. I was worried if I can't really kill tanks, but I can. If I go Kraken, was done. I probably can go for either last and Kurima. I get first hour. I think I have over 100 CS lead right now. Oh, I'm pretty close, pretty close. Keep in mind, this guy is practically master. Sage. And then when he walks to turret, oh yeah, I chunked him again. I touched him. You guys want to see some damage? I don't even proc my own electricity, I think.
Let's see it. Wow! Was that all a mandate?
Just mandate, E damage, my passive damage. That's it. I didn't get Kraken, I didn't get Electrocute in. Because I didn't proc his Electrocute and my Electrocute. If I auto Q, he dies. One shot. That is the most unbalanced thing I've ever played, I'll be honest.
That looks pretty gross.
Yeah, it's not super fun. I've played like absolute garbage this game. Other than like freezing and slow pushing and setting up dives for my jungler, I've played the fights really bad. The first fight, I should win that. I got hooked, literally, level 1. And I just one-shot her. How is that freaking balanced? Now, I mean, no reason for me to go bot, I go mid, I want to pick the turret. I think I died here. I want to test out my damage because I'm trying Lucian. I don't play that. I'm literally just trying the champion. I want to see his limits and see how good that is. I was testing out runes. Oh yeah, I won't tap again. Savage. I can show it again. I remember saying, if he walks up ever, I one-shot him. I just know I can because... Yeah. Good night. Auto Q.
Jesus Christ.
He's full HP. Auto Q. Later, bitch. That's so unbalanced. I don't understand why it's in the game. That's why,
also Nami's electrocute too, right?
Yeah. That's
Oh
it's
my God.
normally you're supposed to do Nami electrocute and you're not supposed to do electrocute on Lucian too, but I just wanted to do the overkill version.
Just double good chunk.
Yeah. I wanted to try it. Cause I figured if I want to do E auto Q, I'm not gonna proc PTA before. If you deal with multiple bruisers, I mean you're gonna get PTA and then 12% increase, right? But they're pretty squishy, so that's why. I didn't see a lot of value in going PTA either. I thought the early game power would just outvalue. Oh yeah, good night.
Oh my goodness.
This is really unbalanced. Like, I don't know. Oh, I die here. I get absolutely one shot by behind Scion. Full tank Scion. I actually misplayed because I thought he would hit the Nami here. I wanted to dash behind Nami. But I could have dashed on this side actually. Yeah, I get one shot. It's mostly Scion damage. I think he did it. Now Olaf, Gore Drinker. Before this game, I said the team with more Gore Drinkers win, but we were even. Savage. Okay, now we just keep going deep and we give a few shutdowns. Doesn't matter. How much am I? Okay, I'm killing someone else before it ends. We can see the damage again. So I'm 100 and something CS up. I end up when 125 up. Every time she walked up somewhere, she was getting one shot. It's so sad. That's why I'm like, people, when they tell me Vayne is OP, I'm just like, okay. Kind of trolling. She's not OP, she's good, but she's not OP. If you can abuse her in lane, she's pretty bad.
An ally has been slain.
I think he dies here.
How would you consider Xayah right now?
Kill.
Xayah? I think there's just better option right now. Like Draven is like really OP if you're really good at him. Draven, MF, Ziggsbot.
So you consider just don't pick her?
Yeah, I'd consider pick other stuff. Lucian, Nami. Ziggs is really good into Xayah, so yeah, Xayah can't really do something.
But what happens if you just want to play the champ regardless of how conditioned?
I'd say try to have Rakan pairing, and I actually like Xayah with Rakan if you go Ale of Blades. You can actually kill a lot of people level 1 if you both start W. Surprising. They have surprising damage. Or you can go Lethal Tempo, the average, and you still have pretty good late game because the pairing of combo, the pairing with Rakan and plus Rakan scales really well. It's mostly a support meta. So. My damage there was mostly Nami damage. Yeah. Supports are OP. My champions are bad. Just kidding. I have Draven and MF and Lucian.
So do you think Lucian's only good when he has Nami and just outside of that, just his other picks?
He's probably fine with other picks. He's probably just broken with Nami. I think he's just turbo OP with Nami, and he's probably fine with other enchanters. It's just the way he worked. I was doing this combo, I think it was 2 years ago, when Blade of the Runic King was a thing on Lucian. I was like, wait, why are people not going Nami with him? And I remember level 2, I would just say to my support, yo, go Bubbles, I think we just kill, and we would kill people level 2 every time. I think people just didn't know this combo was a thing, and then they changed Nami so that she procs on abilities too, her bubbles. So now you can proc with Q, so it's even easier to trade with Lucian, even if it was pretty easy to proc the bubbles with your E, right? With your E autos,
Okay.
your double hits. It was already good, but now it's just they changed Lucian in the way that he gains ability magic damage on his double shot, on his autos if he gets enchanted by supports or if he hits W, right? Because he enchants himself if he does with the movement speed. So basically you get bonus on hit on the bubbles of Nami, plus you proc her electrocute. So basically she buffs you, she gives you your passive, your own passive that they just added on Lucian. You gain the bonus damage from the Nami bubbles, plus you can proc her electrocute. So that's just a lot of add-up damage that just makes it really insane. He's probably decent with Sona. I can see it being pretty good. She Qs, you just go in with the Q, bop it, bop bop. It's just not as good. Plus you can proc Mandate, electrocute, yeah, it's just a lot of stuff. That's why it does so much damage. It's just the way they changed Lucian, and they kept buffing Nami because they wanted her to be able to be played with more stuff. She was seen as more of the ADC enchanter, and now she could play with mages in theory, but now she can just make Lucian OP. She procs electrocute, I think, now because since she can proc her bubbles, she can proc abilities with it or something. Maybe electrocute counts as an ability or so. I don't know. I would need to see. I'm curious on how it works.
That sounds really nice.
It counts on 3 instances on the Nami when the Lucian does it. That's why it procs it instantly. With just one ability.
Wow. That sounds really good.
Yeah, it's really cheesy though. Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to get some freelo, don't tell others that I told you to do it, but yeah, it's pretty OP. Other good bot lane is a Mumu with MF. It's really good. Really, really good because of the MP gives. And is it only magic damage MP gives? I mean, it just CC locks people into your R, so they just synergize well. They wombo combo well. Plus, Amumu's OP as a support, and MF is strong, so they just go well together.
Can I ask you a question about the game you just reviewed?
Yep.
Alright, so I've been trying to pick up Vayne as like I main MF, but I'm trying to pick Vayne up as a secondary.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, like, what could she have done there to not lose as bad as she did? Because I was in the same situation last night, and I mean, I got destroyed just because I couldn't walk up to CS because their like range was just like twice mine, so I couldn't CS at all. So I was wondering, like, what she could have done better.
The only thing she could have done better is not trade with me early game and try to fight on her spikes, like around 6 and stuff like that. She can't trade at all pre-6, and she needs to follow up on a hook after 6. That's it. If she doesn't follow those lines, she's gonna int. She's gonna fall way too behind. She's gonna get dove. She's gonna lose XP or farm because of she's trading, and it's just gonna be miserable. You're just gonna fight on your spikes, and she just tried to trade, or she walked in my effective range too many times, and she paid the price. There's not much you can do in those lanes, honestly. You gotta wait for ganks and your spikes. That's it.
Alright, thank you.
But yeah, I mean, there's nothing much you can do. Yeah, it's just, I mean, especially this lane, it's even worse because the combo is just completely broken right now. So it's not really fun. I think other lanes are more, you can deal more with other lanes. There's more ways to fight around those lanes, but this lane is just, you can never fight them, it feels like. it feels like. Depends on the lane. If you're playing against Karma Kate, you win the all-in, obviously, but you get poked out, and you need to try to not get poked out. Basically, you just don't walk in. You don't get headshotted by the Caitlyn. You don't get queued by Karma or Kate. You try to farm safely, and you just wait for your 6. And when you get 6, you follow up on the all-in, and you win. You win the all-in. You don't win the poke, though, but you win the all-in.
Yeah, and thanks to you, I have been playing lethality MF, and it is just ridiculous in team fights.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Plus, if you lasted a creep with your Q and it hit someone, he's half HP. It's just nutty. You know, pretty OP champion. Her ult now, what I like about the changes they made on her R, why she's that OP, is they added wave, but they didn't add time on her R. So basically she has more damage, and it's faster damage. Her R is faster than before. That's why she got, I think that's why she got that much stronger. Do you guys want to do another VOD before we end? Do you guys want to talk about something? Q&A, champions, bot lane combos? We can do anything. It's up to you guys. We can do a VOD review if you guys want. Or we can talk about bot lane combos.
I like bot lane combos. That sounds fun.
Alright. Like ADC plus teamfight combos. Teamfight combos. Well, I mean, obvious one, if you're playing Misfortune, would be if you're playing with an Orianna. Or Samira, actually, with Orianna is pretty nice. I like it. It's a weird one. An ADC plus a mid lane. Well, a lot of ADCs can combo off of Orianna. It's one of my favorite mid to play with. Because she can shield me, she can move, she can basically boost me, and she can set me up. Plus, she has decent, she has damage. She just has a lot of tools that's really nice to play with. Other mid I like is TF, obviously, because, you know, he roams in your lane and gets kills, and you snowball off of it because, yeah, his R.
Well, actually, I got a question. Are you ever going to do a lecture on, like, drafting and champ select?
I think Exodi did it, actually. Or
Oh, did he?
do it. Yeah, I think he already did it.
Yeah, he just ended it.
Yeah.
Not too long ago.
Yeah.
They're doing a lecture on like support and ADC combos, I think, right now too.
Really?
Yeah.
Alright, I might move into the... I'm just kidding. I might change... I'm just kidding. Oh, by the way, if you guys are looking for counters to Amumu support, Galio is a really good option. If Amumu goes in, Galio can always just counter it with E and then follow up with W. It's a really good champion to counter the Amumu. If your support is looking for something.
What
What, to just bonk the Amumu?
Yeah, you just... Basically, when he all-ins, you just press E on Galio, and... Yeah, and then he's stuck inside of you, and... He basically loses 1 Q because of it. And he takes a lot of damage out of the Galleon. Plus, I mean, you just... The way you play it is you play it defensively. If he goes in, you counter it. You don't go in. If you go in, you're gonna lose, but if he goes in, he loses. So basically, you make a Mumu useless.
I see.
It's really obnoxious. Because a Mumu is like... He pretty much wins... If he hits both Qs, he pretty much wins against everyone. Pretty nasty. I've tried it the other day. Pretty nasty champion, I'll be honest. I was actually useful on support. I don't know, it's weird. Me useful on support. Alright. Yeah, so I've seen the Amumu Draven lane into... not Amumu Draven, but I've seen actually Galio Draven into MF Amumu as a really good counter. Thresh is... If you're really good at Thresh, I mean, counters Amumu, so you can pick other... Like, again, Draven into Driven Thresh into a Mumu, you can actually just counter both Qs, because the way Draven E works around a Mumu is if a Mumu Qs you, you will get stunned if you E it, but he's not going to get next to you. So you can actually just counter it twice with Thresh. It's pretty nasty. It's another way to deal with the champion. We've seen a lot. But you need someone really good at playing those type of champions as support. Do you guys have any questions about some matchups or counters or something? Like, it's mostly support. It's mostly support related because a lot of the lane is decided by support. That's why I don't like ADC arguments, like ADC counters. I feel most of the lane will be around the support.
So one I struggle with is Tristana playing as Jhin. How do I deal with the All-Ins?
Good luck.
I mean, it's a permaban, so I want to see if I can try to get it out.
Tristana's really annoying. Basically, the only way you want to play around her is to not... If she can't W on you, she loses a stack on her E and it makes her lose a lot of damage in all-ins, plus she can't W you twice. She probably won't get a reset, so that's one way of dealing with it. Plus you can go exhaust because she's all about burst. She goes in, she bursts, and then she doesn't have burst.
Oh,
So
yeah.
exhaust is a good
By the
option.
way, this is one thing I do when I fight a Jhin. Don't have 2 bullets.
An ally has
Oh,
been
yeah.
slain.
If you start reloading, it's pretty bad. I like playing around the reload on against Jhin. So, yeah, I think it's just about playing safe and just in team fights being a longer range threat, not needing to be as close as Tristana. And you can follow up on the engage and help your team in other ways. You're playing more towards having utility than you're playing towards winning your lane hard in this lane. Because if you try to trade too much, she might just one-shot you, especially post 6. Post 6, she has a lot of all-in damage. You're trying to play for poke in this lane, since you have more range, especially early game. Late game, you don't have more auto attack range, or you just have more spell range, but you're basically trying to poke her out of the lane. What you can do is play Jhin with a another poke support, like AP Maokai, Zyra, Xerath, those type of champions, and you just try to poke her down, and since when you poke her down, she can't really all-in you. You try to get the slow push I'm talking about, get this prio early game, get this poke level 1. You try to get this slow push, and then you poke her under turret, and she can all-in you since she's 2 poked. That's basically how you play around that lane. You play around your poke and your long range. And what you can do is you can set up traps close to you. Let's say you're pushing on their turret. If she tries to go on you and force a fight, if you have traps really close, you can walk towards those traps and walk over it, and she has to pass those traps, and she's going to be slowed. She probably won't finish her E off. And she might get trapped into it, snared into it, or whatever, depending on your support. But basically, if you want to win this lane, you want to poke support. With a poke support, you win.
Okay, and then what about in team fights?
In team fights, you just you won't win the DPS fight, that's for sure. But if you play with your front line, you set them up with W's, you snare people, you get picks with your ult and W, you should be in a good spot. Plus, you're really bursty on Jhin later on. So
I just kind of have to skirmish until the team fight's favored.
Yeah. And then you look to... Basically, what you do is you don't try to fight her straight up in a 1v1, right? But if you go front to back and then you see she's getting into kill range of your 2-shot, you know, your 3rd, 4th shot with Q, with Gale Force, I mean, you probably pop her. You gotta make sure you're able to pop her with auto, Q, auto, Gale Force or something, or Gale Force auto, depending on like how the fight plays out. But if you can, you know she's in kill range of that and you can do it, you're gonna just one-shot her, right? But if you mess this up, you gotta keep in mind you're reloading next to a DPS champion like Tristana, who basically you have nothing to fight back against the Tristana with DPS on you. So you're basically gonna just die because you're no escapes too. So you gotta
So
make sure to just
Yeah, to
if
make
you
sure.
if you go for the burst on the Tristana, you gotta make sure it works. If you don't, you're gonna actually just run it down and people will claim you. But you can actually just assassinate people later with Guild Force, and when you have Collector and all those items, you actually hurt. You're more bursty, you're more long range, you're more poke, but she has more DPS. You gotta play around that. You don't play the DPS fight next to her. You don't like try to auto on your first of your 4 shots. You don't do that because she's gonna win. You're gonna auto once. She's gonna auto you 3 times before your second auto, and you're dead. But if you go for those shorter bursty trades, you win out. Try to fight around your. Try to keep 2 shots in lane. Actually, it's a pretty good one. Keep 2 shots for when she's getting lower. Auto Q auto. Run with your movement speed. If she has no W, it's pretty dangerous to do that because she's gonna jump onto you and kill you. Rest in peace.
All right, thank you so much.
Which would win against each other, Trist or Vayne? Tristana. No doubt. Tristana always. Vayne needs to be really ahead to win. Or she needs to stun Tristana. It's the only way. No stun, Tristana wins. 100%. Not even close. Like, not even close, I'm telling you. That's why I was picking Tristana this season against Vayne when they were stealing Vayne. Now I picked Lucian with Nami. Because I'm cheesy.
Do you know anything that counters the 2 of them?
What is
Ban
that?
Nami.
Ban Nami.
Besides that, which is the obvious.
Would you say
Draven Janna.
I'm gonna hurt this man.
Caitlyn wouldn't fare.
Caitlyn Karma, Caitlyn poke support, Caitlyn any poke support, Caitlyn Morgana. Pretty obnoxious to deal with both those champions. Really hate it because they're playing against terrain control champions like Morgana, which puts pool and the traps of Caitlyn. That's why it's really annoying on their turret. Plus they're shorter range, so they get poked by both, and if they get hit once, they die. So that's why it's really obnoxious. I'd say Caitlyn, but is it your answer? Or was it your answer? Sorry. My guess is yes. Okay.
How do you deal with the Yas ADCs? Like, after he gets like 1 item.
Don't
I play
stun your
really.
minions.
Yeah, don't try to. Basically, if you're around your turret, he can't do anything. So that's when those cheaters are really important. When you cheater and then you keep the wave at certain spots, he becomes really useless because he's melee. So make sure to use your range advantage in the first few levels. Get your cheater. Once you have item advantage, you try to push that that advantage to keep the slow push into a freeze, and you get those leads this way. The other thing is it depends on the champion you play. Working around his wine wall is if you have a champion who can work around his wine wall a lot, like Vayne, for an example. I don't mind this matchup at all on Vayne because Vayne wants people to run into him, and Yasuo just does that really well. And well, he has to run into you, right, to fight you. Plus, I can work around his wine wall easily with my Qs. But it's basically working around his wine wall cooldown and yeah, not being close to a lot of minions, so he gets many dashes and can always stick onto you. Kite away from minions.
Alright. Because I had to deal with one, and he was 0-4, and then he got first item, and then he was just a nightmare. Like,
Yeah, you got shelled though, and then he's hard to kill.
yeah, we won the game, but I mean, every time it was just like he was right up on me, and I just had to spend most team fights running around until somebody got him off.
Yeah, he's really CC. He's really weak to CC. So if you're playing something, your support is playing something like Leona against him. When he goes in, she can just press a point and click stun, and he can't do much about it. So CC supports are actually really good against Yasuo, especially if they can point and click it like Leona. And if you have that, every time he's gonna go in, he's gonna probably explode, which is pretty nice, exploding Yasuo. But he's quote-unquote an ADC counter because of Wine Wall. It's basically just working around his Wine Wall. Just trading around his Wine Wall. If it's off cooldown, that's when you can fight. He can't stat check you anymore because you'll get the first hit and the second hit before he gets to you. Oh, and don't get hit by tornadoes. That's... You can guess when he's gonna knock you up with dash, right? If he Qs once, after that he can EQ a minion and EQ you, and the EQ on you will knock you up, right? Because he needs the 2 Qs and then the third is a tornado. So you always have to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
You can... All the Yasuos do the same to set them up. They do it 1 Q and then they EQ the minions, they E the backline, and they EQ you. And they knock you up this way. That's how they fight. They always do the same. They're all the same players. They're all toxic, they all go 0-14. They're all the same people.
It's just the same guy over and over again.
Yeah. It's all the same person playing on the computer. I'm waiting for the question.